Welcome to BMBBH News with your host Kev, the #1 black man to bring you all of the latest news, minus the WS.
My name is Sidney Deal, and I'm enrolled in the Youth Bill Las Vegas, Jersey, and I got in trouble catching charges back to back. It's from the environment, the following behind the other negative influences that was out there, and I got locked up. So when I came from jail, I started putting in applications and just trying to do the right thing. But from me doing the wrong thing and catching all these charges, it was to me about it because my father is no longer in my life, but my youth bill, we have other father figures there. So I'm more productive to the community now. So I just want to be successful. I feel as though I'm on the right track and that it's possible now. I can see a future and doing what I want to do.
Hello, this is Kev, and this is BMBBH News. This will be my new format that I will be using for news stories to appear on this channel, Black Men Being Brutally Honest. And the video will come in two parts. The news story itself and my hot take, which will be a more passionate perspective that I will present, which can contain a couple of swear words. So if there are kids around, or depending on your household, you might want to cut that portion of the video off and come back and watch the hot take later. But this is one sad and tragic story to start this format out on. So yes, this is Sidney Deal. This is him in 2014. On Monday, October the 5th, Sidney Deal, around 3:30 in the afternoon, locked his baby girl, accidentally, as he says, in a hot vehicle and refused attempts at help until the child passed away. And it's, like I said, indeed sad. And right now, we will go and proceed with the news portion to give further detail. So, here we go.
The state requested 20, I believe it was 20,000, is that right, state?
That's correct.
And the judge granted your request for the $20,000 bail and EMP. My understanding is he posted that bond and he's waiting for EMP. Is that correct? Is that right, sir?
Yeah, I've talked to the psych and everything, and
All right. All right, so Mr. Lane, from my understanding, is he's going to be bonding out.
With that in mind, Your Honor, could we get an out-of-custody date?
What date are you looking at? I don't want to go into February. We can get an out-of-custody date, but not all the way into February.
With Mr. Langford,
I'm good.
Okay.
anytime in November or December, depending on the date is fine with the state.
All right.
Another December 2nd.
December 2nd, okay for everybody?
That's Wednesday. I apologize. I have a view on that date.
Okay.
Could we do either the 3rd or...
All right, we'll do the 3rd. Mr. Langford, are you okay with December 3rd?
That'll work, Your Honor.
All right, December 3rd, 10 a.m. Sir, you need to stay out of trouble during this time when you're out of custody. I promise you, any reports from house arrest or anything is going to line you back in custody. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right, let's go back to Charles Snyder. Charles Snyder. Good morning. Good morning. Did you receive a copy of...
And now for BMBBH News. Yes, this is indeed a very tragic situation. As the headline reads, father, 27, is charged after refusing to break open window of car to save his 1-year-old daughter from dying because of the cost of the damage. And from the facts given in the situation, sadly, that seems accurate. And it costed very, very young life. And okay, and my condolences to the family members of Sidney Deal. But here are the facts. Sidney Deal, the baby pictured to your right, 1-year-old, suffered in a hot car before she died. Sidney, who is pictured to the right, her biological father, who had full custody, alleges that he accidentally locked his baby in the car. The time Saya spent in the car has been reported as anywhere from a few minutes to as much as a couple of hours. Apparently, and as reported during that time frame, Sidney went to apparently visit his girlfriend, who hasn't been verified as the child's mom, and unlikely since the baby was left in the car. Sidney supposedly realizes he accidentally locked his 1-year-old daughter inside the vehicle. He flags down the first police officer he sees in a panic, and when police officers come onto the scene, they offer to do everything from break the windows, get a locksmith, or call a tow truck. But Deal opts out and instead wants to call his brother. His brother shows up to the scene and wraps his hand and offers to punch the window out. But Deal stops him because he can't afford to pay for damages because he just bought the car and wanted to wait on a tow truck. As reported also, Sidney's girlfriend allegedly told police that she called a locksmith, but Sidney declined because he didn't like the quoted price. And, by this time, he has called his mother in a panic and, FaceTiming her, saying that, he's doing everything he can. He's asking the cops to help him. And then, he asked her to call a locksmith, which means that maybe he was trying to get somebody to call a locksmith to get the best price. But, logically, who has time for that? After police became concerned about the baby's well-being, they break the window anyway and pull little Saya out and lay her on the porch of the house. Unfortunately, little Saya had already passed away. Sidney Deal has been charged with, as reported, 1 count of child neglect or neglect causing substantial bodily harm, and he is being held at $20,000 bond, which at the time of this recording has been posted, and Sidney is set to be released from jail, with his court appearance being set for December the 3rd, which I will definitely update you on when that happens with this channel. That is why it is important to hit the notification bell and hit the all on the notification bell so you know when I upload videos to this channel, and also have live broadcasts with panels with interesting minds and smart people. So that's what you do. Okay. Now here's some footage with eyewitness accounts. It's about a 4-minute clip. So what I want you to do is pay attention to what each one of the eyewitnesses are saying, and I'll be back to give you my thoughts on the eyewitnesses and my perspective of this entire situation in my hot take portion of this video. And now for the footage. I'll be back.
They said that they couldn't break the window because they had to get permission from the sergeant. They had to make sure it was his car and stuff like that. But they sat out here for like 2 hours just walking around looking inside the car. Probably about like an hour and a half after them being out there, they looked inside, and I guess the baby wasn't moving. So the officer just broke the window, and then they unlocked the door. And Sidney took out the baby. Sidney was starting to tear up and stuff. He was very frantic.
I will honestly believe it was a tragic accident. He was in the midst of leaving, and he forgot that the alarm pad or the device thing to the push start wasn't in his pocket, so probably robbed her. And I seen him since I moved in, and I can genuinely say since that baby was small, he's loved on her. Never seen a bad time when he had that little girl in his possession. Internet, the 3 different stories about her being neglected, abused, and it's like, no, it's not that. From what I heard from when my mom called me on Facebook, the messenger live, and I seen, like, he was walking back and forth waiting for them to break open the window. He even tried, they told him no. They kept looking inside of his car and said she's okay. And then my mom told me they kept looking inside of my car too, asking who car does that belong to. That car has nothing to do with what's going on right here. This is the father, he told you, like, hey, it wasn't a call or nothing. He saw you guys roll by, he flagged you down. I'm in need. I'm desperate right now. I need help getting my child out. It's hot right now. So it happened later on in the day yesterday. So it was a couple degrees hotter than it is now inside of a black car with black tint, with black leather. So it's very, very hot inside of that car. Why do you guys have to wait? And he was just screaming her name like, sigh, baby, breathe, sigh, breathe, baby. That's an accident. Like I begged you guys to get my child out of this car. And then you guys still have the audacity after I begged you and flagged you down, asked for help to get my child out of this car. You guys still have the audacity to take me to a police station. If they would have actually just got the baby out the car alive first and then do whatever they did with him now. It's like who can accept that? Yet the fact of the accident, yeah, but still that accident could have stopped. He said they were out here for 2 hours before they got the little girl. We could have been off Durango on 215. That child would have been out that car the moment he flagged them down. But literally the area that we're in now is all type of different stories that she was neglected, abused, all of these different allegations that we're hearing besides what genuinely happened. Like father flagged them down, genuinely scared and looking for help. And in the instant, it turned to 2 hours later, he's having to mourn over his daughter.
But the guy was sitting on the porch for a minute, and then he started trying to get in his car, and he couldn't get in his car. He finally flagged the police down, and I'm thinking he just locked the keys in the car. I ain't never get up and go see. So they came and got a clothes hanger from me, one of the guys in the house. Tried to get in the car. But I never knew there was a baby in the car at all. And it's been about an hour and 45 minutes. They finally bust the window. The car was running at first. He left the baby in the car. The car was running. And the car cut off. And the air cut off. And said the baby had locked the doors and he couldn't get in when he came out the house. And the police were out there trying to help him for almost 2 hours. And then they finally, the baby passed out probably, and they finally bust the window out and got the baby out and laid it on the porch. And tried to CPR. No help. It took the paramedics 15 minutes to come over here after they got the baby out. I figured that they should have had the private people over here. If they know it was a baby, the police should have busted one out at first when the boy flagged them down and told them it was a baby in the car. And all the time, it was a baby in the car all this time. That's why they was helping them try to get the car door open. And then, then they finally busted the window out and got the baby out, and the baby was dead already. If that was my baby, I would have busted my own car window out. And I would get another car. And get another life.
All right, and now for the hot take portion of this presentation. This part of the video is a more passionate perspective, and it will have some profanity in it. So if you have children in the room, or you want to just come back and watch this later, you might want to stop this video, or you can just listen, depending on your situation. So hot take in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you had your chance. Now, my hot take on this situation right here, Sidney Deal is a sorry piece of garbage. And if you are any kind of human being, you would agree with me. And especially as an active, loving black father, you would feel the same way. None of those windows would have survived if it was my daughter. But see, the thing is with me, I fully am 100% confident that I want to put my kid in that situation in the first place. So forgive me for not understanding the obliviousness of this situation. Seriously, it is appalling. And I hope that Sidney, with his sorry ass, is punished to the fullest extent of the law. I'm sorry. You don't get to mess up that bad. for whoever is listening. Now, as far as the 3 eyewitnesses, I would say that one really didn't count as an eyewitness to me because he was taking it through FaceTime from his mother. And his mother seemed to have been giving a half-assed perspective of what was going on. And it would seem like more that he was trying to play into the whole, the cops wouldn't help him, blah, blah, blah. But really, honestly and seriously, he didn't know what he was talking about. So really, honestly, they should not have interviewed him. They even had to condense and edit his interview because he was saying so much bullshit. Now, the girl, Alasia, she seemed rattled, and rightfully so. And, she was trying to rationalize how something like that could happen. But Darius, who was either her brother or her boyfriend, that was a fail right there. Miss Shelley Ratliff, the older black woman, she's definitely my favorite because she said the one thing that the other 2 should have said, period. If it were my child, I would have broke all those windows. You can replace a car, you cannot replace a life. Seriously, and I'm in love, except for the fact that, I can't do anything because I'm married. So, maybe another lifetime. But Miss Sherry, all seriousness, Miss Shelley Ratliff, thank you. Thank you for saying the one thing that needed to be said in this entire situation. The one thing that I feel like many people who watch this video and the people who know of this story is thinking as well. Bust the damn windows out. But here's the thing. He refused help. Which is funny, which is very peculiar. Because if his daughter had any chance to live, anybody should have busted those windows out. I feel like the cop pulled up and he lied to the cop saying that, hey, blah, blah. He was scared. When you're scared, you lie. All kinds of lies come out. So when the cop finally got up and looked in the car, oh shit, there's a baby in there. Let's bust this window out. They pulled the baby out and the baby was already dead. So that makes me think that timeline was way longer. I mean, think about it. Think about how fishy all of that is. His brother shows up. He says, no, bro, don't do it. I can't afford to pay for these damages. So why, okay. So here's where I get to now remember the 3 witnesses, the guy Darius who didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Let me give you the one person who did a lot worse in this interview. Sidney's mom. She did a lot worse than Darius. Oh my God, you're about to see what I'm talking about. And with all due respect to the family who just lost Sidney Deal, a precious 1-year-old girl. I try to be I try to be as respectful to a family, but I've also gotten into family shit. Seriously. And I've actually had family members and friends of the people that are the subject of the video show up to my videos. Now that's no joke, that's no lie. So yeah, I'm about to give her the business. And you'll see why. But judge for yourself. And I want you to notice one thing. I'm going to call it out as soon as the clip finishes playing, but I want you to see if you can notice it before I say it. So if you're in a position to hit pause on this video and see if you can figure out what I'm going to say afterwards. Okay, this is Sidney's mom, the one person that I felt did a lot worse than Darius. Here's the clip.
Your son cared more about the window of his car than his daughter.
That's totally not true. The police officers were there when I spoke to him yesterday. He called me and the police officers were with him. And we were on FaceTime. And he asked the officers to help him. I said, did y'all check all the doors? Did y'all check everything? He said, yes. He said to the officers, he said, Mom, can you get a locksmith over here? I said to him, I said, okay, I'm going to call now. And then I heard the officers say, okay, she's sending it. Your mom's going to send it. It's all on body cam and everything. My son was not negligent with the way he handled it. It was not that he cared more about the car. He thought his daughter was in air. If the car was running, So he works. My son is a great father. I don't know what's all of this about, what they were saying in the court, but he's a very responsible young man. Yes, he's 27. He has his own apartment, his own car, and he had full custody of his daughter. So he's very responsible because I raised him as such. Because I'm a doctor and I have children as well and take care of my children. So they're not going to smear my son like he just was the average Joe Schmo out here, because he is not.
He didn't even show up and go back into the house.
He never got to go back into the house. The girl didn't let him in the house. He went for his phone. She didn't give it to him. And then when he realized that he was locked out the car, that's when the police rolled by. He flagged the police down, and he started asking neighbors to use the phone to call us, to call his family. And that's how we knew anything about what was going on.
And Saya's mother, is she aware of what happened?
Yeah, she was out there. She was out there yesterday. She was upset as expected. But my son had full custody.
Something you'd like to say about the kind of person that he is?
He is awesome. I raised him. He's a man. He's not the average young man out here. Yeah, he's an African American. But my baby is a grown man. And he take care of his children. He worked for Alert Security. And I'm going to make sure he had character letters. My son is not what they trying to make him out to be. I might be just saying things, but this is my heart right now. I don't know if my son, he already battling losing his daughter. His first daughter.
What was Saya to your son?
She was everything. We got pictures we can show you. She was everything.
Okay, so did you notice it? Because I'm about to say what I noticed right now. And what I noticed is the usual. A single mother with zero accountability. She cared more about cleaning up her son's mess up by trying to be proud of him at the wrong time. Oh, he was a great son. He was awesome. I raised him. You might not want to use him as an example of what kind of mother you are at this exact moment. But since she did, I'll go ahead and say that she's a pretty terrible one. I mean, the thing that I noticed is that she seemed to be more upset and more concerned about her son being locked up than that baby girl dying, her granddaughter. And that's what I'll say about that. So leave a comment if you agree, if you disagree, if you think you saw something else. Hey, you know what? You're free to do so. But this video is about Sidney Deal. And really, honestly, I do agree with the assessment. He cared more about some vehicle that he just bought. He just bought it. You know, so he didn't want to do no damage to it. I think what he did was, I think that he left the girl in the car already. I think he went in, did what he had to do with, you know, his girl, whatever that involved. And then what his mother said was he went back to get his phone. She wouldn't let him in the house. And that's when he realized she was locked up in the car. And the car was still on and the AC was still on. I don't believe that the car was still on and the AC was still on. I think that the car was off. I don't like, because that kind of thing that's gonna take longer than the timeline that he tried to give. So that means that he was just lying to his mother. That's all. And she took that BS story too. I mean, and then she even said she was a doctor, so you might not want to even state that either. But at the same time, if you really want to give her the benefit of a doubt, she's upset. But she did not do good at all. Like I said, she did worse than the guy in the yellow shirt. And she seemed very selfish about it too. Seriously. The thing is, it's like my father and my father-in-law. Me and them are talking one day, and they both agree that these women baby these little boys. That's why they get into so much trouble. And he already had daddy issues. Sidney decided that being a father was too much for him in one instance. Trying to mess with some girl that wasn't even the mother of his child. And in order for a person like Sidney, let me be honest, in Western culture, in order for a person like Sidney to get full custody, that means that girl either gave that baby up or the baby was taken from her, because she is one jacked up ass person. She has to be that messed up in order for that baby to leave custody. So I mean, with his daddy issues, which, you know, if you didn't see that he had major father issues from all the clips that I show you, I don't know what to tell you. But, you know, like I said, he decided that being a father was too much in one moment. And in that one moment, once again, we all decide that some people just should not be parents. It sucked that she had to have this guy for a parent. Because obviously in one moment he cared more about whatever he had going on with that girl, and he cared more about the windows in that stupid car than he did about the life of his own little precious girl. If she and like what was the mother thinking even saying that? If he cared that much, if she meant that much to him, he would not have gave a damn about that car. I don't care if it's too much to say about this. But my condolences to the family members that actually care. And rest in peace, little angel. I'm sorry that you had to have that sorry ass dude for a father. Okay, that's it for right now. This is all I have to say on this situation. And this has been BMBBH News. I'm Kev. Like, dislike. I would understand a dislike because this situation is definitely one of those dislike situations. Share video, subscribe, and let's start to build a better community. And as always, when in these stories, that I like to say that hug your loved ones because you never know when. All right, and Kev, we trust. Goodbye for now.